Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the first official AlphaMasters League tournament here in From the Depths. I am very excited for this. Hopefully you all are excited as well. This is going to be really fun to kick off. So to start things off, what I'm going to be doing is going over a few bits of information before we head into the first match of the final 16 here in the tournament. So to start, the first place prize of the tournament is $200. So there's definitely a lot on the line here for everybody who is entered. That's definitely a big jackpot. We'll be starting with the final 16 combatants of the tournament, which means the qualifiers have already been completed. We had over 50 ships, and that list has been whittled down to what we'll be viewing here on the channel. And the losers of each battle, as we start going through the bracket, they will actually move into a loser's bracket to fight each other to continue and move forward. So that will be very interesting. Now you can see the rules on the forums for the tournament should you so desire, and I will be putting a link to that forum thread down in the description of the video along with the rules if I remember to do so. And you can also find a bracket link as well down in the description. And just something to note, the bracket itself will be updated on a bit of a delay as episodes come out. So, if you don't see updates right away as you're viewing an episode in the bracket, just know those will be coming at some point. The tournament itself will feature a 3 million RP limit, and what that means is authors of the ships will have up to 3 million to build their ship. However, this is a little bit different in that authors will also need to allocate remaining resources in their ship builds for this tournament. What that means is if you built a ship that is 2.5 million RP, and that stands for resource points. RP is the overall aggregate makeup of a ship and the resources that go into it. Every single block in the game has an RP value associated with it, and that's where this comes into play. So, like I was saying, if you built a 2.5 million RP ship, you've got 500,000 RP left over to allocate to different resource categories like crystal, fuel, metal, scrap, resources. So what that means is, once the tournament match gets going, if you didn't allocate enough fuel for your ship, well, you can run out of fuel. So that's an interesting, very cool twist to this tournament that I think will be very fun. Now, if a battle turns into a tie or a stalemate, I will do my best to determine the winner, and if that doesn't seem possible, I will be consulting with Scarlet Devil, who is the creator of the tournament, and hopefully together we can figure out what to do in any case should that arise. Next up, I will only be showing an image of each ship or ships while we briefly talk about them, just so you understand the general makeup and what the ships are all about before they go into battle. Instead of showing like a video showcase or anything like that. That's to save time, especially because a lot of these ships are really tons of sub-vehicles. It's very hard to talk about everything. And that sort of comes into play with this next point. Some battles will feature tons of sub-vehicles. And I just wanted to point this out because these will be a lot more difficult to focus on as far as the overall battle goes. There's just going to be so many things happening on the screen, but honestly, I will try my best in these cases to distill the action, and we will frequently be viewing the AI screen to determine the overall health of all of the ships. And also note, of course, with that being said, the game is still in alpha, and the fact that some of these are going to be very large battles, expect some lag. There's just no way around it right now, but not every battle is going to be like that. So, I just wanted to point that out. So with that being said, ladies and gents, let's go ahead and take a look at the first couple of combatants coming up in the next match here, and then we'll get rolling. So the first battle we're going to be viewing here in round 1 of the final 16 is between Madwand and his Wolfpack, and Kalen Loki and his Trollpack. So first off, let's just quickly look at the Wolfpack. This is by Madwand. It features 6 wolves, which are all thruster craft, and these feature a laser turret, a missile pod, and a torpedo pod. And it also features 20 cherubim. These are all microjets. These jets themselves feature anti-air missiles and mixed warhead general purpose missiles. Quite the mix-up. Now the Wolfpack is going to be going up against the Trollpack. This is by Kalen Loki. The Trollpack is a submarine squad, and this makeup looks like this. It is 1 Bifrost M, which is mid-range and fires missiles, 2 Bifrost Ls, which are long-range and feature lasers, and 1 Ratatosk, which is a scout. And I'm not actually sure what it does. Who knows? It's such a mystery. I have no idea. So this is going to be an interesting matchup because we're going to be having essentially submarines versus thruster craft and jets. I mean, it's going to be interesting. But this is one of those battles I want to mention where it's going to be tons and tons of sub-vehicles. It's going to be mayhem on the screen. So with that being said, let's kick this battle off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the left here, you can see the Wolfpack, and on the right, what you can't see is the Trollpack. And this is one of those things where I was saying, look at all these sub-vehicles. Look at this. Look at the fleet. It is just chock full. So you can see lasers firing here. We've had a few ships hit. You can see some debris going on back there, just a little bit. And again, this is one of those battles I was talking about. We have, a little bit of lag going on here. It's not incredibly bad, but it is noticeable. Like right here, good gosh, it is happening in real time. And that's because everybody's probably starting to shoot missiles now. So these ships we're cruising with right here, these are the Wolves by Madwan. And back here, all these little blips, these are the Cherubs, as you can see. Tons of DACA coming out here. And you can see a lot of missiles actually firing from the submarines. Those glorious, glorious Bifrosts. And who knows what that little Ratatosk is doing. It's living the sweet life. It's scouting, doing the scouting thing. So again, there's a lot of custom Lua going on here, and because of the mode we're in, it's called tournament mode, and it requires you to host a multiplayer game. Lua gets synced in that case. So really what's causing this lag is just a lot of Lua syncing going on. And wow, look at this. Lots of missiles. The way they zigzag like that makes me think possibly single IR pixels, I don't know, for the tracking warhead on the missiles. Let's get down here and take a look at one of these Bifrosts. And again, I do apologize for the lag. It's very real right now. Here's a Bifrost, looking honestly amazing. Looks very Lightning Hoods. For those of you who've played the game, has a very Lightning Hood-esque look to it. Firing those lasers. That's one of the Bifrost L's. Long range laser support going on. Again, just mayhem. You can see a lot of the Cherubs in the background there. Let's actually see what's going on here. So all the ones in red, these are part of the Wolfpack. These are Madwan's ships. The ones that are in blue, these are the Trollpack. Doing okay. We have a little bit of damage here, I believe. I think we're still intact. Everybody's doing okay so far. Let's take a look down below, down in the depths. Where are the ships? Probably help to put the interface on. Take a look around here. See if we can see any enemies. Oh yeah. We want to not look for enemies. We want to look for the guys in the green. You can see them just barely. Whew, we are squeaking by on FPS right now. This is really intense. Custom Lua is really just wreaking havoc in this mode. Now this could be the Ratatosk. Let's take a look. Am I saying that right? I keep wanting to say Ratatouille for some really goofy reason. This is the Ratatosk. It is indeed. He's scouting, doing what scouts do best. So here we have the bulk of the Wolfpack, the Wolves. These are the ones. These pack a very nice punch. Here's a little Cherub. In fact, we're about to get a little collision going on here. Or maybe not. Maybe not. It flew directly over one of the Wolves. It was a close call. We almost had a short bus situation, ladies and gentlemen. So again, in this case, let's just zoom out a little bit here. Let's get the interface back off. And like I said, we'll just try to get a grand view of this battle. I don't know how many we will have with tons of ships like this. In fact, I know the next battle we'll be viewing will just be a nice 1v1. So, little change of pace. Absolutely brilliant having the heals set up like this. The Wolves fly very, very close together, and they are healing each other up. But remember now, this features resource allocation, so it is possible to run out of resources. The more you heal, the more you're drinking down those resources that you have determined you need for the battle. And, the more that happens, there will be a point where you just run out, and then, you will start to see damage really accruing on the ships. Let's take a look across the board here. We're seeing a lot more damage on the Cherubs. Saying that wrong, Cherubums. Cherubim is apparently both singular and plural, for those of you who like that kind of info. Wolfpack, the Wolves themselves are looking okay. A little bit of damage. Two of them are down to 94%. One's down to 85%. I want to say, let's see, we have 4 Bifrost L's, just 1 Bifrost M. Oh, that's right. Okay, we're still looking okay here, just down to 73%. So what I'm going to do is let a little bit of this battle pan out, and then we'll focus back when I think, we're seeing some interesting hits or something else going on. Oh, so here we have one of the Bifrosts is definitely taking some damage here. It has rammed into a mountain. I unfortunately wasn't able to capture that. I just dipped under the surface. You can see here, look at that EMP. That was probably a torpedo. Little explosion of EMP goodness there. We have another, what looks to be a torpedo, coming up on the Bifrost. Let's see which Bifrost this is. Is this an L or an M? Part of me wants to say it's an L. Oh, no, of course, totally wrong. It's an M. It's an M. It's down by about 30% health right now. And you can see we are starting to get some small FPS boosts as damage is happening. And, you know, some of this custom Lua isn't able to run due to blocks disappearing and whatnot. A little bit more damage there to the Bifrost M. So here you can see what is essentially left of that Bifrost M. It is really taking some hurt here. Down to 34%. And we're starting to see a little bit of damage across the other Bifrosts now. One of the L's is down to 99%. And one of the other ones is down to 94%. Of course, old Ratatouille here, still running strong. Old Ratatouille. The Wolves on the Wolfpack team are looking all right. A couple of them are at 90%. The Cherubims, you know, we have some hurt here and there. You know, one's at 30%, 18%. Definitely a lot more damage across the Cherubims. I don't know why that word is just so magic to me. It's just, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. So this guy is definitely down for the count. I don't know if it's going to be able to repair. Let's take a look at the block count here on this Bifrost M. Yeah, 1,200 out of 3,500. Definitely not looking so hot. I see a few holes in the submarine. I don't know if holes are bad, like when you're trying to be underwater. I'm not quite sure, but that definitely has some holes in it. So here you can see the Wolfpack again circling, doing what a Wolfpack does best. And it's, you know, a Wolfpack doesn't just have to be a Wolfpack of 3. You know, just something to think about. You can have a Wolfpack of 6 plus 20, and it will be just as effective. So here's what's going on. I actually skipped ahead here in the video. I cut out a whole bunch between the last, you know, well, between this cut and fade. You know, definitely the FPS is better, and we are down to two Bifrost Ls. They are both 44% and 68% respectively, and the Ratatouille is untouched. You know, those Ratatouilles, whoo, they're so unpredictable. So here's one of those Bifrost Ls. I love it when the FPS is just back to the norm, my friends. That is A-okay in my book. Definitely taking some damage. Those lasers, that was weird. Something came from, must have been a missile. Yes, it was. You can see those lasers from the Wolves just coming down here. Now, something to note, right? When lasers are firing and they must pass through water, there is a lot of damage reduction to the laser that is done. I don't know exactly how much it is. A lot of the experts maybe could chime in and let us know what kind of damage reduction lasers see when they enter water. But they are still effective, as you can see here. You know, we're getting little pings, little explosions on the Bifrost L. Really looks amazing. I really just, you know, the way people put these builds together, mind-boggling. They are all wizards in my book. Everybody's a wizard who can build great in this game. You know, they got their wizard hat on, and it's just casting level 8 magic missiles. What's happening here? Nobody ever gets that level of magic missile. So let's take, oh, wait a minute, what is this? Is this a cherubim or is this a wolf? I think this is a cherubim. Oh, it's one of the wolves. One of the wolves is down, and I am seeing a missile hit it there. Let's take a look. Yeah, all right, a little bit of stuff going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wolf might be out of commission. Yep. So we're missing a good bit of cherubims, you can see here. And we're missing one of the wolves is now down. But, you know, hey, so's the Trollpack. Definitely, those Bifrosts are taking some damage. This is really feeling like it's going to go to Madwand with his Wolfpack. We're going to see here another torpedo coming in on the poor Bifrost L. Really taking a hit here. Here we have a couple more. I mean, look at these. Don't they just look incredible? Oh, and look, there go the frags. Boom! Now, I don't know if those were proximity-based. I didn't see any sort of proximity, but those frags still super effective when they fired. They went right into the engine, right into the hydrofoils, the laser makeup, the combiners and whatnot, all of that in there. Just ripe for the fragging. So here you can see a lot of the missiles from the Wolves that have all launched around the same time here. And let's see if we can zoom in and see any of these potentially hitting their targets. I don't know if we will. And you can just barely see them under the water. You can see them actually floating back up. They didn't quite reach, but there are quite a few. Oh, just laced all over here. And here's this Bifrost L sitting at 41%. I don't know if these are going to reach. Here come a few more firing down. Missiles coming across the screen. To help you get an idea, yeah, this is a top-down view. And if we move around a little bit, you can get a little bit of the perspective to help you understand where the missiles are. Just a whole lot of them over there. They're not quite able to dip down far enough, so a bulk of the damage is going to be from the lasers that the wolves do fire. And if we zoom out really far, you can see this battle is in 2 parts right now. Whoa, geez, good lord. Here you have 3 of the wolves circling this Bifrost M, which is just about dead, 12%. This Bifrost L and the old Ratatouille, which is practically dead, down to 1% now. And here's the other Bifrost L, down to 24% with 2 wolves circling it. And if we take a look at the health, let's scroll down. I can't really tell where my scroll bar is. What's happening? Okay, all the AI mainframes on the Bifrosts have been destroyed. Now, it doesn't mean they are incapable of repairing. In fact, if we look, since we are on the team of the Bifrosts, down below here, these are the resources that are actually available to the Trollpack as far as what they need. So, you know, there's still 1,000 fuel left, 92,000 metal, 168 crystal. But I don't know if it's going to help. You know, we really can't see the health, so this is really the best way for us to see the health on these guys now. So what we're looking at here is the ship with the most health that is left on the Trollpack, and this is where we are going to call this first matchup. The Trollpack has 3 ships left, 6%, 5%, and 29%. They are all completely dead in the water. They no longer have any potential left. And the Wolfpack is still running strong. Still 5 of the wolves at 100% health. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And we still have a fleet of cherubims. Most of them have full health. So this is definitely the win. Is going to go to Madwand with the Wolfpack. Great job, my friend. This was essentially at this point, it's just a matter of time. You know, at this rate, it'll probably take another 15 minutes. So we're just going to call this one here. I think we can all agree this is a definite win for the Wolfpack. So with that being said, let's go ahead now and take a look at the next matchup. I want to go ahead for this first episode and try to squeeze 2 matches in. You know, I'm looking at, I'm already about an hour and 15 minutes into this recording, so we're going to try to squeeze another one in, and I'm going to try to cut all this down into something manageable for us. So let's go ahead and transition now to the next matchup. For the next matchup, it will be between Fungi Amungi with the Tawa Opawa and Marine 0351 with the Hunchback. So the Tawa Opawa, this will be a real quick one. This is just a sky fortress, features laser turrets and missile turrets, high velocity missile turrets at that. And then the Tawa Opawa will be facing the Hunchback, and the Hunchback features triple G4 turrets, whatever those could be, missiles and torpedoes. There's just a myriad of missiles and torpedoes. You'll see that. The alpha strike from both of these is quite large. And the Hunchback itself is an aircraft/thruster craft. And that's about it, so let's go ahead and get this match started. Alright, so we are taking a look at this battle. On the right, you have the Hunchback, and on the left, you have the Tawa Opawa. So you can see this huge alpha strike from the Hunchback over here. Let's go take a look. If we can get things situated, yes, a lot of cannons firing. Now you can see the lasers from the Tawa Opawa here, lacing into the Hunchback, who is rocking shields. Shields. It does have shields everywhere, but smoke as well. Quite critical. So you can see the first initial fire here of cannon shells from the Hunchback. Coming down here on the Tawa Opawa, shields everywhere, massive amount of reflect going on. Wow. Not only shields, but what is this? 5x layered shields? I can't even tell how many layers of shields there are. I'm thinking like 4, maybe more. Missiles are falling just a little short from the Hunchback on that initial strike. We still have the cannon fire coming down here. Things seem to be running great. Here's a little launch from the Tawa Opawa. The TP, we can call it. Doesn't mean toilet paper. Let's watch these as they head over to the Hunchback. Those lasers are really lacing in. The question is, are they doing any damage? We'll check here momentarily. And those missiles definitely connected. We had a huge EMP burst going on there. We are looking at Hunchback down to 99%. Tawa Opawa, quite untouched at the moment. So you can see the massive amount of lambs coming out of the Tawa Opawa. Now remember, these lambs are sort of like laser missile defenses. They are what are going to try to take the missiles out, as you can see it happening here. Now the thing with that, if the missiles are close and the lambs take the missiles out and the missiles had frag warheads, those frags will still release. But the frags also have to play by the rules of shields. They will bounce off just like normal shells do. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? This is just glorious. Here comes another missile strike. I don't know if the lambs are gonna... Ooh. Oh, big hit right on the top here. Papa Bear saw a big hit. I'm seeing we got a little bit of destruction going on here. A little mainframe connector going on. Take a look at the health here. Tied across the board. This is going to be an interesting battle. Very interesting. Look at this sky fortress. This is pretty cool. I don't know how many fortress types we have submitted in this tournament. This may be the only one. Now, I believe these missiles can rotate. These turrets, as you can see here, they do slowly turn to face the enemy. They are on a turret. I don't know what kind of turret these are. These might be one-axis turrets. I'm not sure. But here comes a lot of missiles from the Hunchback. Although the lambs for this TP they seem to be super effective. I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of the missiles actually connecting. Still 99% across the board. This is impressive. Now things are getting close though. Hunchback extremely close to the Tawa Opawa. Let's see where these missiles are going. Oh no! Are they not going to turn to their target? They're not. They're not. They're just firing off into oblivion. Into oblivion is what they're doing. Something, you don't want to do that. If you're firing missiles, definitely fire them at the enemy. Just words of wisdom, I should say, not wise. Words of the wise, words of wisdom, whatever. Straight from the mouth of Scroat, derping hard. It's my classic, it's the huge. So how are we looking? Actually, the TP here is down to 98%, and the Hunchback is at 99%. Lot of defenses going on between the two. It's insane. There's so much offenses going on. They're both firing insane amounts at each other, but their defenses are really solid. Okay, so we are cutting back here. The recording has been going so long. We're about an hour and 50 minutes into the recording that some of the recording stuff actually stopped due to limits, unfortunately. So hopefully I can find out how to splice these back together. If we've missed anything, any gap in this battle, I do apologize. But here's how we're looking so far. The Tawa Opawa down to 97%, Hunchback at 99%. We do have some shields down here on the TP. Definitely some vulnerability spots, something to keep in mind as these two just go at it. So here you can see missiles coming down. Oh, they are getting in. The Hunchback has found a spot. It has indeed found a spot on the TP here. These missiles are landing. I'm not seeing the lambs hitting it. We can see inside a little bit of the goodness. Look at all this ectoplasm flying around. We have a veritable Slimer inside of here from Ghostbusters, keeping this baby fueled and powered. Another volley from the Hunchback coming down. Connecting quite well. What is the side of the Hunchback made of? Looks like stone, I do believe. You don't see stone used very often here from the depths. That is quite the rare occurrence. It's a bit of wonderment, my friend. Something to put you in a state of awe. To say, look at all that stone. Oh, there's some frag warheads. There you can see. Look at that. Another opening in the shields. We have I don't know what you'd call this, the stick snoog sticking out of the side of the T-bow. Oh, jeez. Oh, baby. Woo. Definitely a big hit there. Tawa Opawa now down to 94%. The Hunchback is non-stop. We have so many missiles coming here. I can't tell. There are definitely frags. I guess they were just so small I couldn't really see them. But it looks like a lot of the frags are actually disappearing. Here we have the majestic floating block of the TP. It's one of its secrets. It's able to keep the blocks floating in midair. Something amazing as well. It's just unbelievable. EMP now. Wow, EMP coming down from the Hunchback. Missile swarms everywhere. I'm seeing shields down on the TP now. EMP landing, explosions left and right. My God, this is intense. The TP is just getting a major barrage from the Hunchback. Let's go over here and take a look at old Hunchmasaurus here. Just something, I'm throwing it out there. If anybody wants to use Hunchmasaurus as a ship name, go for it. You know, the name is free to use. I don't trademark them or anything like that. No copyrights, none of that jazz. How are we looking on health? Tawa Opawa, we've lost quite a few AI mainframes. We're now down to 83%. Singular mainframe left on the TP. Hunchback still at 99%. And the missiles are just connecting like crazy now. I don't see a lot of lambs to stop the onslaught. This offensive onslaught from the Hunchback. This is the stuff of legends right here, my friends. Another volley of missiles. Let's watch. Let's watch. What's going to happen? Each missile carries a small teapot and a cup. Some missiles have the tea hopefully they all come together to create just an amazing tea party inside the whatever they're going for, whatever they're aiming at. The TP is unfortunately, this is not looking good for the Tawa Opawa. The cannon shells, you know, there's nothing to stop them now, no more shielding. I'm seeing some major sections of the TP coming off now. And there seems to be no end to the offensive barrage coming from the Hunchback over there. Wow. This is impressive looking. TP, my friend, you've seen better days. I don't know if you're going to be able to survive this onslaught. Again, this is a fortress, and one of the downfalls of a fortress is when you destroy enough of these fortress turbines. These turbines are what fuel and keep a fortress floating. Once enough of these are destroyed, the fortress itself will start to destroy itself. You know, it's just one of the innate weaknesses of a fortress. Perhaps that's why you don't see a lot of people build with them. But again, the stability of a fortress is incredible when you build like this. As you can see here, I mean, the Tower of Power doesn't move. It's perfectly stable, which is impressive. So health-wise, TP down to 70%. Hunchback chilling at 100%. It has repaired itself up just a little bit, and things are non-stop. She's running like a well-oiled butte, my friends. Things are looking swell right now. So I don't really want to cut away because we just have so much destruction going on over here. And it's just non-stop. I can't believe it. This is what you call a good use of resource allocation here. You're able to keep your ammo supplies up. You're able to keep your firing going non-stop. And really, you know, between a lot of these monster ships, these are huge ships, you know. Like the TP itself is 17,000 blocks. Tell me that's not massive. Almost down to 50%. It's falling quick here. I believe we can definitely say the Hunchback is going to get this one, but hey, you know what? It's just carnage time right now. We're definitely going to watch this. Let's see what some of these missiles are doing. I'm a little perplexed when this happens sometimes. You know, like I mentioned, these are well-oiled machines. These authors have put a ton of time into these builds, and sometimes I just wonder why this happens. Why do the missiles fly off like that? Perhaps, once again, you experts who are good with that kind of thing, you could chime in. You know, why does that happen with missiles? You know, when it's like 95% of them go towards their target, and then just every now and then a few of them don't. It's very strange. Perhaps they fired at such an angle that maybe they don't have a one turn, and maybe they're not within the FOV of the missile's, you know, camera or detection system, whatever that may be. You can definitely tell neither of these ships were using laser designators for their missile systems. Custom Lua, more than likely. More than likely. So here you can see now the top of the Tower of Power is just getting eaten away here. We can fly through the innards. It's chock full of tasty components. AI mainframes are now dead. So here's what we'll do. I will cut a little bit here. I'm just going to let this play out a bit, and then we will cut back. The Tower of Power just taking an immense beating. It's just non-stop. It's a slow disintegration down to 5,800 blocks. So what I'm going to do here is cut back when it's just practically dead, and we will see who comes out on top. I'm still not quite sure who could be winning this. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We will give this win to Marine 0351 Dub with the Hunchback. Definitely took out the Tower of Power. Now, in this mode we're playing in, you know, ships don't disintegrate like we are usually used to. You literally have to take out 100% of the blocks, and, you know, at some point it's just obvious that there's a winner. You know, Hunchback at 100% health, still firing like crazy, non-stop, and the Tower of Power has been out of commission for, you know, 10-15 minutes now. All that's left is just this husk, this shell. So, congrats to the Hunchback. You will be moving forward in the bracket. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we'll end this episode. So thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. Look forward to daily episodes with the tournament here. And like I mentioned, the campaign will be on hold for a bit. And I'm hoping that we can get this tournament wrapped up in 2, possibly 3 weeks, due to us also going through the losers bracket. Adds a little bit of time to the tournament, but, you know, we're going to be going for daily episodes with this. So, of course, if you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them. And, of course, if you're enjoying the tournament, give it a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have a great one. Take it easy and stay classy.